Y'all gonna do it in unison?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. All
All
right.
right.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Underrated or overrated? Y'all let me do that by myself.
All right.
Go to work.
What's going on, everybody? It's Anthony Devine,
Real official.
Toshi.
and it's about that time.
It's about that time to do underrated or overrated, gentlemen. This is a new segment, by the way, y'all. We gonna test this out, try it out. So who we got? We got Chris Brown. We doing Chris Brown? Is that who we got today?
No, Chris Brown.
Well, what do y'all think? What do we got across the board? Who wants to start? We should start with Anthony. Anthony, what you got, my man? Is Chris Brown overrated or underrated?
I have a hot take. I don't think he's overrated or underrated. I think he's just rated. I think Chris Brown is getting the flowers he deserves right now. I think that man is doing exactly what he's supposed to be doing. He's been killing it this whole time, and he's getting the respect due.
Okay, word up.
Already messing up the segment. His segment is underrated or overrated. He wants to pick in the middle. So we got a guy on the fence. What do you got, Real?
I want to hear what you got first.
You go straight to me. You're in the middle, man. You're in the middle seat in the car. All right.
You can't just hot potato the hot seat. You got underrated or overrated.
Middle seat.
I definitely don't think he's overrated at all. Right.
Okay. So he's underrated.
No.
Oh my God! What are we doing? What is
I feel like he's getting exactly.
This segment is about to be titled "Rated." Is he rated or nah?
It's difficult,
bro. He's not.
He gets his
not
flowers.
Well, I'm gonna be the one to cause controversy. I'm gonna be the one to say Chris Brown is overrated. Yes, I think he's overrated.
Put a big blue cap over the video.
Overrated?
I mean, somebody had to say it, right? Like y'all, he's rated.
Somebody had to say it.
Like, I mean, I couldn't say he's underrated. If I say he's underrated, then they're gonna be like, "How is he underrated?" So I'm gonna go with the opposite. I'm gonna go overrated.
Who you putting over Breezy right now?
Right now, The Weeknd. I'm gonna go with The Weeknd.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out.
Well,
Get out.
I mean,
Get out of your chair and
first
exit
of all,
the studio.
The Weeknd has Chris Brown ever went 7 times platinum?
Let me tell you something.
Has he ever answer that question? Don't tell me nothing. I want you to tell me the answer to that question.
Has he what?
Has he ever went 7 times platinum? Chris Brown. Has any of his albums ever went 7 times platinum?
Has The Weeknd? Does The Weeknd have 40 platinum records?
Well, The Weeknd's career hasn't been out as long as Chris Brown.
You wanna know why? Because The Weeknd is only 2 days, and Chris Brown is.
Did you write that, bro? Got writers now? Like, what did you?
Yeah.
I give you that. The Weeknd is only 2 days. Oh my goodness. Anyway,
The Weeknd is only 2 days.
Listen.
Chris Brown is one of the most decorated R&B artists of the last decade, and I got the facts to prove it. He's the only R&B artist in history, the only male R&B artist to receive 40 platinum records. On top of that, he's got 20 #1 singles on the Billboard. That's more than Usher. That's more than Beyonce. That's more than The
Chris
Weeknd.
Brown has.
I'm not done. And he's got 3 #1 albums in the last decade. 3, right?
Okay.
And if we want to go top 10 albums of the last decade, he's got 7 top 10 albums of the last decade.
Bro's album sales have consistently declined over time.
Everybody's album sales have consistently declined because of streaming, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
He said everybody's album sales have consistently.
He said everybody's
album
sales.
That is a false statement, bro. That's a false,
right? I'm not like, look.
Can I get a take? Are you done with your rant? Bro went on a passionate rant.
Plus, we need the camera. We need the other shot in. Let's keep the camera moving.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Keep the other cameras moving. You want to look at this guy? He wants a beautiful. No. Don't go to me. He wants to say. What do you got to say, man?
I want them to see the look on your face when you lie.
I'm not gonna lie.
I want to hear the facts. He's coming with facts. I want to hear what he comes with.
He lied and said everybody's album sales decline. Like
whose album sales haven't declined?
Kendrick Lamar's album sales are not declining. I mean, The Weeknd's album sales are not declining. Let's talk about the guy that I directly said.
We're not talking about rappers.
Okay, I'm talking about. Okay, so that's why I brought up The Weeknd. The Weeknd's album sales are not declining. Like I just told you, Chris Brown's album sales have been on a decline. If you got the browser pulled up right there, Google his album sales. Go look at them. Every year they've declined. His last album. So listen, his last album was his worst selling album of his entire career. Now I'm not trying to shade him. I'm not saying Chris Brown's not great. I'm just saying that you asked, was he overrated or underrated? Y'all try to go to straight and narrow. I'm hitting with the overrated because I do kind of got some facts that may back this up. This is not Chris Brown hate. I fuck with Chris Brown, but I'm just saying, to be a contrarian, right? To be, look, it's a big word. Y'all go Google that. Now,
a loser.
To be.
You won't be a loser. You want to be
no. I'm just telling you, Chris Brown has had one. Chris Brown has had one. Let me finish. I'll let you talk. Let me finish. Chris Brown has had one top 10 or one number one song on the radio in the last 10 years. Chris, I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I'm comparing him to The Weeknd, and you try to say that The Weeknd isn't as decorated as him. The Weeknd hasn't been around as long as Chris Brown. The Weeknd has Chris Brown had a whole decade on Bro. Like, Bro came out a whole decade afterwards.
I got one question for you. Since we on The Weeknd, Bruno Mars or The Weeknd?
Bruno Mars or The Weeknd? Well, I mean, I'm not saying I'm not gonna go with either or. I'm just saying if you could throw Bruno Mars in the category too. Bruno Mars is another guy who's highly decorated, but this is not about Bruno Mars or The Weeknd. This is about Chris Brown, and is he overrated or underrated? And I say to you that I think Chris Brown is on that. He's at that point in his career where some got to shake, right? Some got to shake in terms of the music to get the sales back to where they were, or we may be looking at the end of Chris Brown's run. I'm not praying on his downfall, but I'm just saying, The Weeknd is outpacing him. If we're talking sales, The Weeknd is outpacing him. We're talking
about the most entertaining R&B artist we've had in the past decade.
Well, I'm not saying he's gonna stop touring. I'm talking about the music. I'm talking about the music. I'm not talking about. Chris Brown is an amazing performer, but we're talking about music. If we're talking overrated, underrated, we should have probably clarified that at the beginning. And I want to throw this out there. We should probably clarify that at the beginning, because I'm not saying like overall Chris Brown's underrated overrated. I'm talking about in terms of just the quality of music that's coming out right now. We're talking about music. We're not talking about legacy. I don't want to. Don't come at me with the Chris Brown. Hey, if you any Breezy fans in the comments section.
I have one question.
You finna get ate up.
No, wait, I have one question.
Who, me?
And what? How did they decline?
I take it.
Numbers?
I take it.
What's the numbers? What's the numbers until now? How did they decline so bad to give you this perspective?
I mean, Chris Brown started out selling. Go to the numbers. You can pull them up. He hasn't had a platinum album in the last 2 years, 3 years.
Does that matter?
Yeah.
Well, when we're talking about music, when we're talking about overrated or underrated, when we're talking about his music on the decline, it does matter.
Hold on. Check it out. Does it matter? And I asked that because of this, right? You said that he hasn't had a number one. He's only had one number one in the last decade. We're talking about singles, right?
Yeah,
but that's this year.
Right.
Hold on, but that's this year. All right, so it says Chris Brown's album 1111 sold 45,000 album equivalent units in the first week in the United States, and it debuts at number 9 on the U.S. Billboard 200. It debuted at number 2 on the R&B hip hop albums. It debuted at number 1 on top R&B albums, making Brown's 5th album to do so. It's done 50.97 million on-demand audio streams in the United States, and this is actually old data. 8 of its songs appeared on the Hot R&B charts, including 6 debuts. So my whole thing is like, when you account for all of that, where's the decline in quality of music?
I mean, it went 45,000
in the first week.
How much is the total?
Ain't nobody doing crazy numbers in the first week except for niggas that ain't been on the scene in a long time and they were top dogs when they left, like Kendrick, for example. Niggas ain't doing those types of numbers right now.
I mean, it's Chris Brown.
They're not.
With the
How
weekend,
much?
hold on.
But
You're
hold on.
saying niggas
That's
ain't doing
first.
those
That's
type
the
of numbers.
first week.
To
How
The
much?
your point,
weekend is
to
doing
your
those
How
type
much
of
they
to your
sold
numbers.
point,
total?
The weekend is
to your
actually doing
point.
more numbers than that. The weekend's
When's
numbers
the last
are
time the weekend?
exceeding that.
When's the last time the weekend dropped the album?
You
When did he
you
drop
got
an
it right
album?
there. Look it up, my man. You got it right there. He dropped in
What?
like 2022, I want to say. I think that was his last album.
2022, and Chris Brown dropped that year too, right? So we're gonna compare those albums. We can do
I mean,
that.
go ahead.
How much?
You
Chris Brown's
go
full
ahead.
How much? That's the first week. How much
You're
did it sell?
comparing Breezy. You're comparing Breezy, which only went gold, to an album that went how many times platinum? Go ahead, pull it up.
Nigga, Drake write all his music.
I think you got it. You said it the wrong way. The other way around. Hey,
The Hurry Up Tomorrow album, right? That's the last one. Wait, that drops. No, that's
Next
coming
year.
up.
Yeah.
That's
yeah, it's
next
not
year.
out yet.
That's
It's
dropping
not
next
out
year.
yet.
Don FM was his last album. I'm gonna keep it $150. I didn't listen to this album. I probably heard some songs off of it. All right, so album sales by the end of 2022, Don FM has sold 980,000 album equivalents units, including 195,000 pure album sales. So those are his numbers.
Yeah.
Those are
So
his
it
numbers.
went platinum.
And now we got. So now we got to find out what album Chris Brown released in 2022.
Breezy. It was Breezy. I already told you, Breezy.
Breezy did terrible.
Well, there you
Breezy
go.
did
Then
terrible.
you just saved us. You just
Breezy,
saved us the time.
Breezy
to
was one of
Google it.
his worst performing albums, wasn't it?
Let's see.
I
in
just
terms
told
of
you it
numbers.
didn't go. I just told you it didn't go platinum.
Let's see what
So
he did.
I think it's safe to say that you're just a breezy friend, a breezy friend, and you're grifting me, bro. You're grifting me. You're a breezy fan that's
I ain't
just trying to
doing
give
no
me a
such
hard
thing.
time.
It says 72,000 album
It says
equivalent.
hold on.
Can we,
Again, this is
real?
his worst
What's your
performing
take on
album.
this, man? What's your take on this data, man?
Hold on,
You mighty
hold on,
quiet
hold on,
over there,
hold
man.
Bro, y'all niggas is crazy.
You mighty quiet over there, man.
All right, he ain't ever gonna catch Breezy. It's just not gonna happen.
I don't know. That's a
It's not
bold
gonna happen.
statement.
But it's
That's
not
a-
against. It's not those
Hold
two
on.
versus
that's
each
a
other.
How
It's
many
not
gra-
verses.
statement.
How many?
Y'all making it versus because
many-
it's
how
not.
many
No,
It's not
Grammys
I
this
wasn't
guy
making
got?
it versus.
Not versus.
He asked.
How
We
many
gotta stop
Grammys?
talking about.
how many
No.
Grammys
So I don't want it to be the
You
weekend
gotta let
versus
Weekend go.
How
Chris
It's
many
not about
Brown.
Grammys?
Weekend.
How many Grammys do we got? How many Grammys do the Weekend
It's
got?
not about Weekend.
No. How many
Grammys do
That's
we
what I'm
got?
saying. This is not about weekend
What?
slander. I'm with
None.
Rio. I'm with Rio on this one. It's not about
How many
It's about-
BET
it's about-
awards
one
he
versus
got?
the other. I just brought up,
It's
and
not versus. This is.
I feel guilty for bringing the weekend in this because I
Right,
was
because
just
he finna get trashed in the comments.
oh.
Weekend.
The Weeknd is an amazing artist, but if people had to pick between Breezy and The Weeknd, who they gonna say?
Who y'all gonna choose?
Hanging off a cliff?
Put it in the
Let us
comment
know in the
section.
comment section. Let us
Let
know
us know.
who
Or The
y'all
Weeknd.
got. Am I
promise
tripping?
you,
Is he tripping?
the
Are
only
we both
reason-
tripping?
I tell you what. If Breezy gets the most, Breezy get the most. Somebody owes somebody a burger. All right. If Breezy get the most,
why is it always
he owes
food
you a
related
burger.
with you?
Is a
Why not?
burger?
You want fries?
And you gotta
Taco
eat,
Bell
you
got
gotta,
them cheesy
you gotta
fries.
just eat it on the next set too.
Then you gotta
What?
eat on the next set. Yeah, so if Breezy get the most, you owe Ace owe you a burger. But if Weekend get the most,
Who is Ace?
you owe.
And if it's a tie,
That's his
we owe
drug
you.
dealer name.
We owe
y'all.
you.
That boy
Don't tell him,
slang a
man.
little something back
Don't
in the
tell
day.
nobody.
All right, y'all like the video? Like, share, support. I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna go get me some lunch,
You
some
gonna tell
dinner.
them to subscribe,
Lunch.
They want to subscribe, they can.
comment, maybe.
What about if you like? Did he just, bro?
He gonna go get some food.
Bruh.